There is a sixth sense beyond that which is known to man. It is a sense that is as sought after as the Holy Grail and as precious as immortality. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and entertainment, and it lies at the pit of a man's fears and the summit of his genius. This sense, of course, is a sense of humor, and this is Sense of Humor TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sense of Humor TV. Back with another special guest. He's actually our first returning guest.
Hey.
One of a crowd favorite. We are doing a different show today, but want to introduce the guest first. Sean Porter, my homie.
Hey.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
It's been a minute. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
We're back.
Sense of Humor TV, Pittsburgh, California. We got another LA local in the house. So
I just got Sandy right here.
yeah, and we got Sandy. So
Well,
she's
she
probably
wants
the
to be part
favorite.
of the show too.
She's probably the favorite of the audience, honestly.
Right.
But we're doing a special episode today. This is our first non-interview type episode because we've already had Sean on. So
yeah,
today's episode,
the degenerate episode. I want
yeah,
to say.
we should call it the what should we call it? The
football preview.
There
the
we
NFL
go.
football preview.
NFL football preview.
Degenerate show.
Well, we're 2 days away from the kickoff. So Thursday
We are 2
night,
days away from Thursday
it's
night.
Tuesday afternoon.
Yep.
So we kind of want to do this last minute so we get to our up to date. Everything's up to date with you guys when the episode drops. Who's winning?
Yep.
Who's losing? We're gonna do some predictions. We're obviously two comedians, so we're gonna fuck around
August
a little
and
bit.
I do like to gamble, so
Yeah,
you
we will be
know,
talking about
actually, betting. We actually bet what we actually predict, or at least I do.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. Yeah, we're gamblers, so we're gonna
My mom
be.
doesn't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't even come to my shows.
My
thank God.
mom will have the first 5 minutes, and then she'll be like, "Oh, Sean's on." And
My
then-
mom's barely met me in my adulthood, so don't.
There we go. Yeah, that's a true comedian right there. That's why we bet.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna pull up some lines for you guys, but I think the easiest way to start it.
Yeah.
First game on the slate.
That's
we got
right.
Chiefs versus the Lions, which normally every year would be just a blowout. I can't believe the Lions even have the opening game of the
Made
season.
the opening game, right?
That's wild.
They've been the off-season darling. They've been talked about the most. There's so much hype going into Detroit, which is, a recipe for disaster.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. It's like what I hear from the Browns every year. The Lions remind me a lot of the Browns.
I love this time of year, and I've told you this before. I love the offseason because in the offseason, every single team's going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Every fan thinks their team is going to the Super Bowl. And then week 4, week 5 settle in, and then everything goes right back to the norm.
Yeah. It's almost as soon as week 1, like you can just tell, you're like, oh, we're
Week
going to
1,
fucking suck
if
this
you're
year.
a true fan, you know your team.
Yeah. You're like, oh, no,
Yeah.
we're going to fucking stink.
Yeah, like you know me. Like I'm a Raiders fan. It's an abusive relationship.
Yeah, we can get that out of the way. Everyone obviously knows
Yeah.
my past with the Raiders, so we
right.
have
And
true.
August is a Steelers fan, and I'm a Raiders fan. I tell everybody it's an abusive relationship. So when every offseason I'm talking to Raider fans, that they're so hyped about the season, I'm like, we'll see.
Right.
It's always for me. We'll see.
Yeah.
I never get too hyped, but I'm sorry. But back to
No,
the
no,
Lions.
you're good.
Every team's going to the Super Bowl in the offseason.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
So yeah, we'll go with we'll get that first prediction out of the way because I'm just eager, and then we'll end up.
And then we should. How should we
talking
do
shit
it?
from
Should we
there.
break down?
I think we should
Should
go-
we go like per division?
I think we should go division and look at who's because they're predicting like for example like they're predicting the Steelers to be last in the AFC North, which
Right.
I'm taking that bet.
They're
Like,
predicting the Raiders to be last in the AFC
they're
West.
plus 500 to win the AFC North.
Yeah. So let's go by division. And let's go like futures, like win records.
Okay. We'll start with just game 1 though, and
Yeah.
then we'll go through that because I'm just curious. I feel like I'm gonna
Sure.
try to get this out Thursday. If not, it'll be out by Sunday for sure. But
current line.
current line is
Bovada
6.5, I think.
6.5. Now some developments with Kansas City, right?
yeah, we had a big drop on the news factor today. Just to let you guys know,
Yeah,
Kelsey
big
I
news
guess
dump.
hyperextended his knee. So how do you feel about the Chiefs? Also, that's the first thing I want to ask. How do you feel about the Chiefs being a Raiders fan? Because when I worked there, they weren't that great. So I was pre-Mahomes, all that shit.
Right,
so
right,
like,
right. Yeah,
Everyone.
yeah.
It was back when the Broncos had Peyton Manning.
Right.
Like were
That
Super
was
Bowl.
when
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl.
exactly,
So
when they were running
the
things,
Broncos
yeah.
were the shit. Like,
Which, by the way, I called that too when Peyton Manning was like about to be. I said, watch, he's gonna go to the Broncos, and we're gonna get dominated for the next 4 or 5 years. And sure enough, that's what happened. I was like, everything's lined up. It was John Fox, who was a defensive-minded coach, so he lets Peyton Manning essentially be the offensive coordinator. Defense is already there. I already called that. How do I feel about Mahomes? The same way I felt about Peyton Manning. I feel the same way about Justin Herbert. We're going to get dominated the next 10 years because they're the best two, what do we say, between Herbert and Mahomes, the two of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league? Great. That's wonderful. And we got, Jimmy Band-Aid over here. We got, Jimmy Crutches. Listen, I love Jimmy G just for the type of just person that he is. Like, he is Mr. Vegas. Like, he is perfect for that team. Everywhere but the field, week 3 when he's on a stretcher.
Yeah, I can't believe
that's
he's a
gonna be
quarterback. I really can't believe that's where he ended up.
A lot of Raider fans wanted something new besides upgrade from Derek Carr, including me. Did I know it was going to be Jimmy G? Yeah, I did, because I know that this coach wants to bring in his guys. And, they're doing it the Patriot way. So, again, we'll see what happens. I hope he uses that lifelong bunny ranch pass he has, because he's going to need massages here.
Yeah.
First sack.
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
I hate the Chiefs.
He has a free pass at the bunny ranch, Jimmy G. You heard about that, right?
No, I did not hear about this.
Yeah, so he has a lifetime free pass.
Like he needs it. He's an NFL quarterback.
Like
he's good looking as shit. Yeah, it's
but,
like you need it.
But listen,
give it to us that we need it.
Right? Give it to your loyal Raider fan who's been just spending thousands and thousands on season tickets and keep seeing disappointing seasons.
Hey, Mark Davis, you want to get a promo for next year? You used to be my boss.
Right.
Give a season ticket holder.
Right.
A free
exactly.
bunny ass pan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I'm sorry about the Chiefs. You talking about?
Oh yeah. Well, I was just I obviously I hate the Chiefs. Obviously, being in the AFC, like
fucking.
I hate them. I can't stand them. And it's usually sometimes you're like, well, at least it's a sick player. Like even in my own division, like Joe Burrow or like Lamar, I think are sick. I just don't like any of the players in the Chiefs. I just think like that's a question. Actually, we're gonna do. We're gonna end the show. A little preview. We're gonna end the show with a bunch of. I'm gonna ask a bunch of like, who do you think's like, who's your favorite player in the NFL? Who's your least favorite player? Who's the biggest dork? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. But
insufferable fan base. I can't stand their fans.
I just don't like the Chiefs. And the fucking crazy thing is, when I was young, I used to like the Chiefs when they had Priest Holmes and
Trent. Not Trent. What's his name? Who's it? Trent Green.
And
who was a quarterback with Priest Holmes, right?
Yeah, and Tony Gonzalez.
I love Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, that offense was sick.
He's a Manhattan Beach SoCal kid.
And Derek Thomas, remember Derek Thomas? Yeah, like fucking.
Derek Thomas was a beast.
They had such a sick team, but now can't stand them. Like that's all I usually do it off players. Like
what? Like Mahomes has been in the league 5 years, and like of the 5 years, he's been in AFC Championship like 4 times,
literally,
or some shit like that.
Brady was the only thing in his way.
MVP.
Yeah.
1-time Super Bowl MVP. 2-time Super Bowl winner already. Like Jesus Christ, bro.
I can't. Probably the reason I hate him is because every time I bet on him in the Super Bowl, they've lost, and every time I've gone against them, they've won.
I bet I laid a lot of money on Tom Brady that year. They paid the GOAT. I was like, everybody. I said I knew going in there were many men who lost money betting against Tom Brady. I wasn't gonna be the one.
It's weird. I've had a really up and down with betting on Brady in the Super Bowl.
Really?
I've won. And I've lost, but a lot of times, I bet on the Atlanta the year they 23 year. That was one of the worst, and I bet on Georgia in the national championship. That was the year that
you bet Brady, right? Or you bet against them?
I bet against them.
You bet against them, yeah.
That was the year. That was the most heart crushing year. I bet against. I hate the state of Georgia
Tom
now
Brady
because Georgia they lost me both the Super Bowl and the national championship year. That year. Remember when Nick Saban put it on Tua and Najee Harris?
That was the Bama Georgia. Yeah.
So I lost both. I was like, fuck the state of Georgia. If you're listening, fuck you guys. Anyway,
Tom Brady has made me plenty of money, Mr. Brady. I fucking salute you, sir.
That's the problem is though he's got me back too. Like he's got me back too. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that man lost Super Bowls against Nick Foles and Eli Manning twice.
Yeah. But now here's the thing with Justin Herbert. That guy's a top 5 quarterback. The Chargers are already charging his career. He has 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years, or something like that, or 3 OCs in 4 years. Like they're already starting to charger this thing up.
Yeah,
he's going to demand a trade in 2 years. Watch when he keeps getting his ass beat, and the Chargers keep going 8-8 and keep switching up OCs on him. Watch.
So you think? What are you thinking? Lions covering that 6.5?
Yeah, right. No Travis Kelce. That is really Mahomes' go-to guy.
They don't really have any other receivers. Though.
Well, I mean, they had that kid Justin Ross who apparently looked great in
Rookie,
the
right?
offseason, and he's coming back from injury. He was a first-round wide receiver that got a freak neck injury in college, which basically tanked his entire draft status. So they picked him up as an undrafted free agent. He's apparently balling out.
No more Juju.
So no more Juju Smith. He's with the Patriots right now. I mean, against a Lions team that could put up points, what's the over/under? That's what I'm looking at. That's what I would look at. You know, and also first game, home team. Here's what I always do. What I do is whenever there's a ring ceremony, same thing for NBA too. I always bet against the team that's doing the big ceremony. I'm always betting against them. So whenever the Lakers would have their ring ceremony, that first game of the season, I would always bet the away team, the opposing team.
Oh, well, we got breaking news. Kelsey brought it down 1.5. It's 5 now. The Kelsey news today. It looks like everyone must have jumped on.
6.5, everyone jumped
Detroit's
on
still plus
Lions.
200 money line. I might just take the fucking money line.
I always bet against the ceremony. All the big ring ceremony, all the big hoopla. Everyone's all in their fucking shit.
They're thinking about last year, not this year.
They're thinking about this last year, and the Lions are just sitting here with that crazy-ass coach.
Dude, that guy's ready to eat some kneecaps. Danny
nuts,
Campbell.
And I love him. The
Danny
guy wanted
Campbell.
a live lion on the sidelines.
I mean, that guy is actually.
You can't tell me that guy's fucking CTE'd up. Like,
dude.
Like, I can't, and I love him. I love that guy because the players will play for him.
I
they
think,
play for him.
I think we're kind of talking about like how the Lions now are in the first game of the season. It's a big one. Him, you got to give him credit. But then two, them in on Hard Knocks last year, everyone loved them. Like everyone loved that team on Hard Knocks. Like they were a fun bunch and like.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna end up being a breakout season stud. USC
That Hutchinson
baby.
kid, he had a good
rookie
year.
They got that running back from Alabama that was supposed to be looking really.
What do you think
good
about that? Everyone thought that was a
offseason.
huge reach when they took him.
So apparently he's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
For them and looks a lot better than what they had, which is DeAndre Swift.
They also had the best second-round pick in the entire draft. They got Brian Branch from Alabama, the safety. That kid, I was on my hands and knees. The Steelers were a pick away from getting him, and they traded with the fucking Green Bay Packers, which they would rather have traded with us and jumped us and took this kid.
What's the total?
Do
we have the total of the game?
Is 52.5.
52.5. That's high.
Yep, that's
really
high for the
Here's
NFL.
what I'm thinking. I wonder
if that went down because of Kelsey or not. It looks like it seemed
probably
the same.
did because it was you said 52.5?
Yeah.
It was 54. Okay, so I'm thinking sprinkle some money on the Detroit Lions money line.
Yep.
I like that. Also,
We have parlay, bro.
This is Captain Parlay right here, you guys. We'll get
Yeah,
into
we'll
that
get
in a
into
second.
that.
We'll get into that in a second. I have to walk this guy off a ledge all the time. I might hammer Detroit Lions first half.
I like that.
First half bet. Chiefs are going to come out. I'm telling you, they're going to come out slow. Pat Mahomes is probably going to have to put his cape on in the second half.
I always like that under too, 52. Especially like
And
if
the
Detroit's
under.
gonna win, they're gonna run the shit out of it. They got David Montgomery too from the Bears. Like I feel like that's
Detroit though, but like Jared Goff had the best year statistically. They can put up points, man.
Do you remember?
That Lions team can
I was
put up
watching
points.
the highlights yesterday or 2 days ago from. Do you remember a couple years ago when Jared was still on the Rams and they played the Chiefs and it was like 54-51 that game?
Yeah, at the Coliseum.
Okay.
That was at the Coliseum.
Okay,
yeah.
you remember that? Yeah,
That game was
before they
like
built the new stadium.
Classic. Legendary
Okay.
game.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, Jared Goff's been in shootouts with Mahomes before. It's not like that
He
hasn't
has been in
happened.
shootouts. So the first half bet is right now is Lions plus 3.5, and that's already being juiced because it's minus 120.
If Kelsey ends up being out and it still stays around plus 200, you can block me down for a Lions money line ticket.
So I like the Lions money line ticket. Sprinkle some on, but I might hammer Lions first half bet.
Okay. All right. We're gonna come back to that. I think let's move on to.
I might
division.
take the 5.5 too, bro. To be honest with you, because I think it's gonna be a field goal game. Again, I like betting against teams who are celebrating something, ceremonies. I always bet against those teams.
All right, we're gonna go right down the hatch. Okay, so we're gonna start with AFC South, which is Jags, Titans, Colts, Houston. Who do you think is going to be first in that division? Who do you think is going to be last?
Jags made the playoffs last year. They came back against the Chargers. Chargers chargered the game. So you would think just by default that the Jags are the team. You look at the quarterbacks. You have Trevor Lawrence, who already has a playoff win under his belt. Then you have rookie C.J. Stroud. You have rookie Anthony Richardson. And then you have, what's the other team again?
The
I'm
Titans.
blanking. Oh, and the Titans. Who's starting who? It's starting. What's the name again?
That's the problem with the Titans. I think they're going to win the division if I had to bet.
What am I banking on?
Tannehill.
Number 17. Tannehill.
Yeah.
So Tannehill's starting again with 2 quarterbacks waiting in the rings, with not much confidence in Tannehill, which is why they drafted in the first round.
Or the second they took Levis.
Oh yeah, second round was Levis.
Yeah.
Because they drafted another quarterback.
And they took Malik Willis last year. Like, they're just hammering. That's
what I mean.
a classic example of when you don't fix the problem and then you try to put a Band-Aid on it and they just keep. And the problem with that team is they're good enough to win that division. If they had Trevor Lawrence, you switch the quarterback spot, they would no one even.
They would.
question.
They would.
Wouldn't even be close. DeAndre Hopkins, Henry. You got 2 Pro Bowl safeties. It's
I mean,
like,
you got a really good. You got a players coach in.
I love Mike Vrabel.
In Mike Vrabel.
I
right?
love
So players
Mike
play
Vrabel.
hard for him.
He's an underrated genius.
The players also play hard for Doug Peterson. He's turned that program around in 1
I forgot
year.
Dougie P's on there. I love Dougie P. He's Eagles. Eagles fans, you deserve never to win anything again for getting rid of that man.
Seriously, I don't know what. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys lucked out with this Nick Sirianni guy.
Yeah. Hey, another Paisani.
But yeah.
We got Lombardi on the TV right now. We got another.
And then, that coach, you got a rookie coach and rookie quarterback in Indianapolis. So
who would you say? I'm taking Tennessee to win that.
You gonna take
division.
Tennessee? I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the Jags. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the Jags and run
And who
it
do you
back.
think's coming last in the division? Houston is favored to come in last,
Right.
which I thought it would be the Colts.
I'm calling the Colts.
I'm calling the Colts too. All right,
calling
we're on
the
the same.
Colts.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Colts the last. He takes Jags to win. I'm taking Tennessee to win. Also, we're gonna have the end of the season show, and we're gonna recap our show, so that'll be
dope.
fun. Yeah. So, and we'll probably do a midseason one too to be perfect. Probably
Yeah.
pre-playoffs. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll come back if we're not out of money yet by then.
Right.
All right, AFC West is next.
Mhm.
So this is
Oh, yeah.
we were already
Oh,
talking. We already got a
NFL
little
division.
preview on the AFC West how we feel about this.
Oh, classic division.
The Raiders, shockingly, are favored plus 1,400 to win the division. They're they're at the worst odds.
We're picking
And
to
the
go
Chiefs
last
are
in the
minus
division.
200.
Does Bovada have our total
season
win
total?
total? Yeah, I think
it
it's
might.
6.5. Last time I checked,
It's probably that. Yeah.
I think it was a 6.5 was their future win total. Listen, by all accounts, they should finish last. I mean, who knows? I mean, they got fucking a rookie quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, who actually had the best preseason of any quarterback
Yeah.
this year. He actually surprised a lot of folks. But then got Brian Hoyer, old substitute teacher Brian Hoyer, as the backup quarterback.
You know Jimmy's going to miss at least a game.
Jimmy G gets hurt week 3. I mean, now we're, are we tanking for Caleb Williams? I don't know. So, I mean, until proven otherwise, I hate to say it, but it's going to be the Chiefs who win that division again. I don't believe in the Broncos
Me
at
neither.
all. I was saying
They have too many problems to fix
I was
in a
saying
year.
you consider I call them the donkeys. Consider the donkeys to be in the running for a quarterback next year in the draft.
Donkeys. We call them the Yonkos instead of the Broncos.
Call the Yonkos? We
Yeah.
call them the donkeys. I'm calling it right now. The donkeys are going to be in the running for a quarterback in 2024, drafting a quarterback.
Wow.
Because
would be
Sean
one of
Payton
the
ain't going
worst.
anywhere. Russell Wilson's going to be
You don't think the Russell Wilson
Probably-
experiment's going to work out this year?
probably benched by week 8.
Interesting. That's interesting. No. Yeah, I guess we kind of already talked about your kind of feelings for the Chargers.
Chargers.
No, the Chargers.
I love to hate them. Chargers. I love to hate their fans. It's hilarious. They're like the Angels to me. They're like the Clippers to me. I will never refer to them as Los Angeles. They will always be San Diego.
Yeah.
Every time I do a gig down in San Diego,
Even
I
looking at
always
it right
troll
here
the
looks
Chargers.
weird. Like even looking at it like on the screen,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like
Los
it like
Angeles
looked weird for a
Chargers.
second. Yeah.
Every time I'm doing a gig in San Diego, I always troll Charger fans down there. It's the best. I'm like, oh, Lee, all 5 of you guys showed up to the gig. Oh, that's great.
The weird thing about the Raiders is they have such good players at some positions too. Like
They do.
Devontae's maybe the best receiver in the league.
Yes.
And then you have
him and Justin Jefferson.
yeah, and now George Pickens is going to join that 3. But and then I think Max Crosby is amazing.
Top 3.
Chandler Jones, if he
top
plays for
3
them this
DNs.
year, is
Some shit popped off about Chandler
Chandler
Jones
Jones today,
today.
too.
Something weird because it's the Raiders.
it's
We
literally
can't
on the
just
ticker right now.
Go into
It
the
says, "Fuck it, I don't want to
Yeah.
play for the Raiders."
Raiders. Yeah, if that's my head coach or GM. Yeah,
Oh my
apparently he
God.
got locked out at the gym. I don't know. Something's again. The Raiders can't go into the regular season with just normalcy. Again, something else has got to pop off. But they also restructured Jimmy G's contract today. So according to all the beat writers, they think something is in the works. I think the Raiders might make a play to trade for another defensive piece, and Chandler Jones might be a part of some type of deal they're going to make. Because Chandler Jones, you didn't hear from him all preseason. He was hurt. He didn't practice too much. He didn't play any of the preseason games. I didn't expect him to. But it's been really radio silence, and then this shit happens. So who knows? Don't be surprised if the Raiders make some type of trade or something like that for another defensive piece.
How hype would you be if they did end up getting Caleb Williams?
Oh, you kidding me? But that's not going to happen.
Because the Cardinals are probably going to end up.
Well,
and
no,
then they'll trade for Kyler Murray. or
Even
some
if
shit.
he was sitting there and the Raiders were sitting there and Caleb was sitting there, it's not going to happen because of the head coach of the Raiders. That's why. Because Josh McDaniels is just like another fucking Bill Belichick. And he is so arrogant. He's one of those arrogant,
Thinks he
cocky
can win with
offensive
anybody.
coordinators.
Yeah.
No, not anybody. He wants a robot. He wants a robot to stick to the script and throw where the ball's supposed to go. And a minute a quarterback tries to make a play with his feet or go off script, you're dead to him. He wants robots because that's how arrogant he thinks he is. He thinks it's his system and his offensive play calling, and he wants his quarterback to adhere to the script. That's why he hasn't had one mobile quarterback outside of what's his name, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And that was not really.
He doesn't fuck with mobile quarterbacks. He doesn't.
You'd have to think, though, if they were in a position to get Caleb, that Josh would be fired. Like, if he has another year like that, he's got to be gone.
You would hope so.
Yeah,
you would
you'd
hope
hope-
Mark
you'd-
Davis would fucking finally
Yeah.
pull the trigger.
You'd have
Or
to
Mark
think so.
Davis would come over the top and say, you're drafting this kid.
Yeah.
Because I know Al Davis would have drafted that kid.
100%.
Al Davis would. You kidding me? So like, but no, because of the coach that we have, the Raiders have, even if Caleb Williams was sitting there, he wants a statue back there.
So I think we're in agreement. I think we both think the Chiefs are going to win. The Raiders are probably going to come in last, unfortunately.
Probably.
Unfortunately.
More of the same.
Yeah, more of the same in that division. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, we're going to go
The Chargers will be the epitome of mediocrity. I love it. Like I'd rather be dead last or first, not just 7-9 every year, or
Right.
8-7 or whatever,
I know. Give us
which the Chargers are.
give us something. All right. Let's get to
All right, so that's the AFC West.
That's the
You want to do your division? Do the AFC North.
Okay, we can go to the AFC North. That's obviously here we go. Some of these are open, so there we go. It's close. All right. Why are these all open? Sorry, guys.
So AFC North, we have
AFC North. We have the Bengals, the
yep.
Browns, the Ravens, and my Pittsburgh Steelers. And
probably on paper, probably one of the most competitive divisions in the league. What I've seen the Bengals pick to go to the Super Bowl in some pundits' eyes. You got Baltimore that's
looks
reloaded.
like they just updated. Pittsburgh was plus 500. Now they're plus 400. They're still the last. Cincy's number 1, Baltimore
Right.
number 2,
Right.
Cleveland number 3, us number 4. I'm biased. Cincy is obviously their offense is incredible. Their defense is terrible. Their defense has been terrible. It is terrible. Their offensive line is
defense,
terrible.
they gotta really rely on that quarterback and that offense.
Cleveland, almost the same thing. They have they have the opposite but the same.
Opposite defense is stacked.
Their defense is stacked. Their offensive line is really good too.
Offensive
But
line
all
is
they have at
good.
receiver is Amari, which is almost enough. And now it's the Nick Chubb show. They don't have Kareem Hunt anymore.
And we'll see what a year or two of Deshaun Watson, did he finally shake off that rust?
I had a draft last night,
or,
and he was
yeah.
there. I didn't have a quarterback. I was last day quarterback. It was pick 100. His average draft position is like 60. It was pick 100. He was
Yeah,
still
he
there.
might surprise some people. He might. I mean, what? I mean, Deshaun Watson's only like 27, 28 years old.
He's
still in his prime.
Let's find out.
Deshaun Watson's still dead ass in his prime.
And he was a top 3 fantasy quarterback before.
Correct.
Yeah, he just turned
27.
27.
Just turned 27. He is still in his prime.
Or no, he's right about to turn 20. He turned 27. He turned 28 next week. He's turning 28
Turning
next
28
week.
next week, man.
Okay, so I mean that's your prime.
So that's-
28 to 32 is your
so-
NFL prime if you make it that far. That's
So
your NFL
yeah,
prime.
so that's a big if. But when he is healthy and Deshaun Watson's playing like Deshaun Watson, he was also a top 5 quarterback. You know what I mean?
And Baltimore, it's one of those things. I hate the Ravens, but like I respect the Ravens more than I respect like the Bengals or the Browns because of
Yeah.
like the teams they usually put together. And I've always been I wanted the Steelers. I was on my hands.
You gotta respect him.
Wanted us to take Lamar Jackson. They had Ed Reed. Fucking
Like
Ray
I
Lewis.
hate this. I can't stand the Chiefs
Yeah.
or their fans, but I respect the hell out of Mahomes.
100%.
Yeah.
You got it when you're in those battles.
Right.
But the Browns, they're delusional, right? Like there's we were talking about earlier when we started the show. They're the biggest offseason warriors in the world.
Every team's going. Yeah, exactly.
Biggest offseason warriors in the world.
Every team's going.
And then another thing, I love Joe Shiesty. Love Burrow. Another guy who won
Joe
me a
Burrow.
ton of money in college.
Yep. Yep.
But you can't win. It's proven. Unless you're maybe the Chiefs, and even the Chiefs have been bringing in like Chris Jones and like they had the Honey Badger, and like they've actually had some Justin Reed they brought in last year. It's like they've had Nick Bolton, who's the one who had that fucking fumble recovery for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. You can't like the Bengals do not have anybody on defense, like literally anybody. Like and last year, that's how they lost that AFC Championship. They put Mark Des Scouting or whatever the hell, 6'5" on Mike Hilton, who used to be a Steeler, and they were just doing lob balls to him the whole fucking game. It's like you gotta be able to get a guy.
I'm gonna rank the AFC North division by the way I rank their quarterbacks. So I got Bengals 1 because Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in that division. Second quarterback, and it's a close second,
Kenny Pickett.
is Action Jackson. Lamar Jackson's going to be reloaded. He has actual weapons this year on offense, receivers that he's going to throw to. Apparently, you're going to open up the offense this year, and he's a former MVP. Joe Burrow might win the MVP this year. So I got Joe Burrow 1. I got Action Jackson 2.
Does he? Burrow doesn't have an MVP.
He doesn't. He doesn't have MVP.
That's crazy.
Yet. Yeah, I know.
He should have got it the year they went to the Super Bowl, but Stafford I think got it instead.
Who won the MVP that year? No, wasn't it?
Was it Mahomes again?
It was Mahomes, I think.
God damn.
I think it was Mahomes.
Stop giving it to him.
For real. And then 3, I got Deshaun Watson because he's been there before, and he's that talented if he just shakes off this
that rust.
Massage therapy rust. And then 4th is, I have to rank him because he's the out of all the quarterbacks in that league. Kenny Pickett's still trying to prove himself, and it's his second year.
Did you get to see him at all in the preseason though?
I got to see some highlights of him and that George Pickens guy. Which, by the way, and I know there's everybody's raving about this dude. Every highlight I see, this motherfucker's pushing off. I don't see it. I mean, okay, he might have a breakout year, but he's also gonna probably lead the league in offensive pass interference. All he does is push off. I want to see him actually separate from a fucking DB and make him look clownish, not push off and then make some crazy ass catch. If you just pushing off like that and making spectacular catches like that, that just tells me that you can't separate from a DB.
Well, he definitely that's not his thing. He's a contested catch receiver. He's not a
he reminds me of Chris Carter.
Yeah.
When did you ever see Chris Carter break one for 70 yards back in the day?
No, that's a good comparison. I like the
Chris Carter's always doing the Randy Moss and dudes and doing amazing one-hand catches because he couldn't separate from anybody.
And that's kind of that's why a lot of people are comparing him to Jefferson because Jefferson's the same guy. Like he's not a Tyreek Hill, he's not a Jamar Chase where he just burns you and like you're wild.
No, but I've seen JJ make DBs look foolish though.
True. I think JJ's route running has got better.
His route running is next to Devontae Adams.
It's crazy that he was a rookie
and his release.
So I think that's the thing he's been working on.
I want to see more from George Pickens.
I agree, but I do. He's a great contested ball catcher. But anyway,
I'll be the first one to say if that combo balls out, Well,
that was the crazy thing. So the preseason, the starting offense was on the field for 5 drives. 5 touchdowns, so 5 for 5, and Kenny Pickett had a perfect passer rating.
Yeah.
So if that's any indication, I know it's not always going against the best people, and like I think Week 1's going to be the biggest test because you're playing the Niners.
Preseason.
We're playing the Niners. It's like that's a
Josh McDaniels is like he's like a 800+ winning games in preseason.
Yeah.
You don't mean shit.
It's just better than them not looking good. You know what I mean? That's the only difference.
Well, at least
it's better than them going and
decent.
And
they
not
don't
doing
look like
good.
dog shit.
But I'll tell you one thing. I will bet.
I'm gonna wait and see on it.
I'll bet my life. You guys Sean can murder me on the end of the podcast if we end up last in this division because we have not been last. Guess the year the Steelers were last in their division last time.
I'm gonna say this is pre Mike Tomlin. So
correct.
There had to have been. It had to have been the year you guys drafted Ben Roethlisberger because you guys drafted him early, so it had to have been that year.
1988, bro.
Oh, 88.
88. They haven't been last in the division.
Wait, so
my lifetime.
Roethlisberger went in the first round, didn't he?
He went, but he fell, dude. Cleveland could have taken him a bunch of. We got him like 14, 15, something like that. So we haven't been last in our division since 1988. We haven't been last in the division in my entire lifetime. And if we weren't last in our division last year, last year was the year for us to be last. We had Mitch Trubisky. We had all these shitty players. Yeah. If it didn't happen last year, and we won 9 games last year, we're winning double-digit games this year. Like I don't know I think our over/under is at 7.5. That's another.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Season long.
Pull up on Votto.
Yeah.
What's their
Let's
future
go, NFL.
win total
NFL
for the Steelers?
season.
I'm gonna take a stab and say it's 8.5.
I think it was 7.5, but it might have gone up since the preseason. I should have bet on all this preseason because
NFL win totals.
there we go. Yeah, because I know people are now on the bandwagon with the Steelers because they looked so good in the preseason, which could be a trap because it is preseason. I do agree on that. This is all lose the playoffs. We go season win totals.
Yeah, just tell me NFL. Yeah. Season win totals. Yeah. They should have a whole list.
Yeah, why is it? They got only the Cardinals on here. Let me see. We could probably find a list, but either way, I think there's no way that they end up last in that division. There's just no way. Like, and if they're plus 500, I'm taking that.
Yeah, and then type 2023.
Here we go. All right. Steelers 9? Damn, that's high. They got us at 9.
Their over win total is 9.
9.
And they're set to pick go last.
Yep.
So then that has to be.
So the Browns are favored. They're supposed to win 9.5. Ravens 9.5, and Cincinnati 11.5, which is I know that went up.
So
it
that
was
like I
7
said,
and-
that has to be the most competitive division in the league. Then
Easily.
if there's set
Yeah.
to pick last and their win season, their over under win total is 9.
is to be over 500.
Right.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
our
So
division's
every
crazy.
team is
Yeah.
predicted to go over 500 with the AFC North.
They're gonna beat the fuck out of each other that division.
Right.
like
There's gonna be some war of attrition there.
we kind of got off last year with Baltimore not having Lamar and Deshaun Watson not having.
Yeah, but again, it goes back. I'm gonna rank that division the way I rank the quarterbacks, and for me, they have the
No,
worst, they have
I mean
the worst.
it's good to have
they
your
have the worst
perspective because I'm a
quarterback
homer.
in
Obviously,
the
I'm
division.
a homer.
It's obvious, yeah.
And you can't even say we're least proven. He's a rookie that
If
played.
you guys
7
have been taking note with the Raiders, I'm like, they're probably gonna be dog shit. And August is like, Steelers all the way.
We're winning the Super
Bowl.
I'm definitely betting on us to win the Super Bowl. We're plus like 5,000.
Again, so yes.
So yeah.
And I'm like,
You got an optimism and a pessimist right here, so that's why we compliment each other good, and that's why this is gonna be a good episode. All right. Anything else about the AFC North you want to go on?
I think I covered everything. I get that's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, unexpected there, but I think if I had to say so, who do you think's gonna win the division? Who do you think's gonna lose? Out of the 4 teams, who first and third, we don't have to worry about the middle.
I think a healthy Lamar Jackson can win that division because their defense is better than the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow probably is MVP candidate, might win the MVP this year, but I think Baltimore wins the division with the Bengals making wild card.
I like that prediction. I would pick the Ravens over the Bengals too. The Bengals defense, I think, is just in their offensive line is just going to be too much to handle. Their defense last year was so good. Roquan Smith they brought in, like they got some dogs over there.
Yep.
But I'm biased. I'm taking the Steelers to win the division.
Taking the Steelers to win
and
the division.
I am taking
All
the
right.
Browns to lose.
I wish I had that same optimism. But
That's why we're friends. This is why we compliment each other well. This is our conversation usually without the camera. So that's why it's nice to be able to do this with you guys. But all right, we're gonna go AFC East now.
AFC
So
East.
Bills, Dolphins, the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets, and the New England Patriots, which are favorited to be last in that division, which I probably haven't seen in my lifetime. That's crazy. That is crazy.
That makes me so happy.
That does make me very happy. I hate
that
the
makes
fucking
me
Patriots.
so happy.
I hate Boston sports, period. That's another reason me and
We
Sean are friends.
can't stand Boston anything.
Mhm.
I want those fans to be back to be. They're miserable regardless. Even if they win the Super Bowl, those fans are miserable. They're always looking to be the victim.
Always.
They're always Boston fans are always something. It's big government. It's the Illuminati or against them. It's always something. Even if their team wins the fucking Super Bowl, they are annoying. They're insufferable.
And
so guess what? Go back to being losing insufferable.
And they're usually
You
the ones
guys
who
didn't
were-
start rooting
and
for
you
the
guys are usually
Patriots
ones who were
until
cheating, so that's right there, too.
2001. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
You guys are all Red Sox and somewhat Celtics, but you guys are too racist to rep Celtics. So it was all Boston Bruins and Boston Red Sox. You guys didn't give a fuck about the Patriots, and you guys were barely Celtics fans. You were only Celtics fans when it came to Lakers and stuff, because you guys can't. That city of Boston can't root for anything black. So get the fuck out of here.
Well, hey,
Shitty ass Boston.
that we might have to clip up that rant.
Okay, sorry. All right.
You know what I saw a comparison the other day, which I thought you would appreciate, honestly, is someone compared the Patriots to the Bulls, where the Bulls were only good with the GOAT, and the Patriots are like, the Patriots weren't shit before Brady, haven't been shit since. The Bulls weren't shit before
Exactly.
Jordan, and I was like, that is such a good comparison.
That is why you will never, ever, and I will die on this fucking hill. And I have arguments with my friends all the time about where they rank Bill Belichick. He's not even a second ballot Hall of Fame coach to me. He's a shithead. He's a loser. He's a cheater. And you can
You'll get a lot of
literally
Steeler
track
fans
his
from-
failure pre and post Tom Brady. They showed it. It's on. You can look it up. With Tom Brady, the guy has a 700-something winning record. Without Tom Brady, and even before when he was with the Browns, he's like 430-something is his winning record. He was a mediocre, once-fired coach. The only thing that changed was Tom Brady stepped on the field.
Did you see?
And now he's back to losing, as he should be. And he still fucking cheated with Tom Brady. So fuck him.
Yeah.
And fuck the city of Boston.
Did you see? Two things I want to say to that.
I love you guys. When we
Yeah.
go on the road in
Fire
Boston, we
tickets,
love you.
Boston
By the
Garden.
way.
Anyway, did you see? It's funny you said that, because did you see Asante Samuel literally just said the same thing like a week ago? He got all
I
this
mean,
hate.
it's out there. It's so obvious.
Well, he got all this hate about it because he was like, bro, trust me, I was there. Like, he's
Yeah.
like, it was Tom. He's like, it was Tom.
It was all Tom.
Yeah.
I'll die on the hill. I will die on that hill. It was always Tom Brady.
It was just funny hearing Asante say it, because Asante was on the 16-0 team. You know what I mean? So
Countless interviews you hear of former players, great players, who went up against these Patriots teams that just talked about them bugging the locker room.
dude, did you ever?
Like going in, knowing you Google Marshall Faulk and Kurt Warner, both on record saying that when they played them in the Super Bowl, they had an entire goal line package that they just made that week, Super Bowl week, that no one's ever seen before. And then come goal line, the Patriots defensive players are calling out the plays, calling out the audibles. Like, really, like, fuck you, Belichick. You're fucking
You're
shit.
gonna. Well, we might be losing all our Boston fans, but you're picking up a lot of Pittsburgh fans right now, because Joey Porter saying
You already know how Raider fans feel about the tuck rule and those fucks.
I mean, Joey Porter literally says I'll take it to my grave that they knew Ben's rookie year when we lost to them in the AFC Championship, because we beat them early. We broke their win. It was like a 30-game regular season win streak.
Yeah.
We beat it. And Joey Porter's like, I'll go to my grave saying that they knew all our plays. Like,
I mean, Peyton Manning's been on record saying that they had to during halftime go outside the locker room because they thought the locker room was bugged.
Did you see that Peyton and Tom did that show recently? Tom called Peyton out. And he's like, "What's up? What are you saying about Belichick?" And he's like, you know." He just was like, "You know what I'm talking about." Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he probably kept it from Tom. Tom probably knows a little bit. Here's the thing: you can juice all you want. Okay, take as much HGH as you want. You can become the Incredible Hulk on that field. I don't care. Be a 350 pounds and run a 4.3. I can give a shit. The one advantage over anything is knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's the one advantage. And that is where the Patriots and Bill Belichick cheated. That's where he cheated all the time. So anyway, I'm glad they're about to finish last. I'm glad all the stupid shithead controversy that they have going on now with their quarterback and all these players now not liking the Patriot way. Fuck them.
Yeah, they don't have. He doesn't have Tommy to be like, look, Tom's doing it.
I'm picking the Jets to finish third and not win the division because the Jets are the Jets.
You taking Buffalo to win it?
I'm taking the Dolphins to win
Wow.
the AFC East.
Wow.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot because they brought Jalen in. I think Waddle's going to be amazing this year.
They got a track team.
I do. Oh, dude,
They
track
got this.
team.
It's like the old Al Davis Raiders teams. Back
Raheem
when the Raiders were
Mostert.
good.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
they got
that is a great
track
comparison.
team.
They do have like an Al Davis fucking team.
They do. And
Yeah.
speed does kill.
It does kill.
And
if Tua can stay healthy, they're winning that division.
If they
I
can
agree.
stay healthy, because, I mean, he was 8-0 when they were healthy last year.
Yeah.
And they have
Waddle was
they have a
amazing.
good enough defense to keep them in games. But that, I mean, there's no slowing down that team. I got the Dolphins winning the AFC East.
I love that pick. Especially because
And Buffalo's a wild card.
They're one of the few teams that have 2 number 1 receivers. Like Waddle's a number 1 receiver. Like people don't realize that. Like he was putting up number 1 numbers, and then Tyreek is the best down the field threat you can possibly have.
Right.
I like that pick. I was gonna
even that running back they drafted got wheels. Dude, everybody got wheels on that team.
But Raheem Mostert, he's the fastest running back in the goddamn league.
Raheem Mostert got wheels. Like everybody got wheels on that
Their
team.
only problem is health. Like Tua, Raheem, Mostert.
That's the one thing slowing them down.
Yeah, if they're healthy, they're winning that division.
Right.
I agree with you.
Is like pulling hamstrings.
Yeah. They're pulling the other team's hamstrings, but pulling their own.
Right.
I don't want to get away from this because I want to show you this if you've never seen this. So, famous Pittsburgh moment. You guys will know what I'm talking about, but I want to show Sean, get his reaction. So, a kid for the new local news station, KDKA in Pittsburgh, he got fired. This kid that worked in the thing because when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, instead of he was prompted to put on the TV Super Bowl winner Tom Brady, and he put known cheater.
Oh, you showed me this. That was the best.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and that
he cost him his job, but I hope he never has to pay for a meal again.
Yeah, that kid's a legend in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
like, he got on all the radio
stations. I hope he never has to pay for a meal or a lap dance.
When you when you were going on that rant, I was like,
by the way,
Sean would love that kid.
I'll still go back on this rant. Boston's the most racist northern state we have in the union. Anyone who claims to love the Celtics, they were so, I don't know if you know this, when number 6, Bill Russell, when he had his retirement ceremony, when they hung the big celebration and all that, and they hung his name up in the rafters, it was a closed off ceremony. He didn't want any fans to be there because the fucking fans were so racist to him that he had a private ceremony.
Yeah.
That's how shitty those fans are.
I know, and they'll always be like, we were one of the teams that first had black, and I'm like, the ownership isn't the city.
Your own best player ever, Bill Russell, didn't even want you guys at his retirement ceremony. So fuck off.
So this might be the only division that we have well, no, we agreed on the other one, but I agree with you. I think Dolphins are going to win. New England's last. Is that where we're consensus?
New England finishes dead. They'll finish last in the XFL. I want them to finish last in the CFL.
Good.
Fuck the Patriots.
I'm out on them too.
I think what's his name gets fired this year, or they have a parting of ways, and then like he finds himself back on like the Browns, or like he'll get another gig. It'll be like the Browns, or like I don't know.
It'd probably be the Browns. That's a good one. Like he's coached there before. They would be.
I don't know whatever coach is on the hot seat. I don't know. And Chicago, some idiot GM is gonna make that mistake.
The Browns love compensating with people who are out of their prime, aka Deshaun.
Should we take a beer break real quick?
Let's finish up these divisions and then we'll come back.
All right,
we'll do that.
All right, bet.
I got a beer if you want a beer.
Actually, I have one.
You got one right there.
More than anything, I have to take a.
We'll finish up these divisions and then we're gonna come back with the other topics.
All right, let's just take a freshen up break because I gotta get out of here.
Okay, we will be right back to finish off these divisions.
We'll be right back, you guys.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Just
we're back.
Quick bathroom break, and now we are going to continue with the NFC. So to start with the NFC, we're going to go NFC East. We're going to go right to the big dogs first. Make it interesting.
Right.
Get everyone's attention coming back.
Right, yeah. All you Cowboy fans out there. Name 3 Cowboy starters, you fucking fair weather casual fucks.
So we got Eagles favored, no surprise there.
No surprise. They're coming back reloaded. Not only that, they had a good draft class. They took a flyer on Jalen Carter, who dropped to the Eagles, who, by all accounts, already looks like a freaking stud.
Dude, how insane is their D-line? Like, they just lost Javon Hargrave, who was Steelers. The whole thing with the Steelers losing him with Tuitt, because they would have kept him. Mm-hmm. But Tuitt, we thought we were going to keep him. And Tuitt's brother gets killed. Rest in peace. And then Tuitt ends up retiring. Yeah. Javon goes to the Eagles, has 10 sacks as an interior lineman. That's insane as a nose tackle.
That's pretty good. You get double digit anything as interior D line. Yeah,
you're doing your job.
Balling.
So then
Jalen Carter falls to them.
And then Eagles lose him to the Niners, and then they get Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Just insane.
Insane.
They've been drafting like a, and then but I'm a big person on, and the Steelers did with Minka Fitzpatrick, like even the Raiders getting, like you can't just draft. No one's that good. You're not, even the Steelers, like how well we draft, you got to make some trades. You got to make some trades, and you got to get some guys and
free agent leaders in your locker room.
Jalen Carter, all these other, AJ Brown they brought in after they already had Devonta Smith. It's not like, there are no luxury picks.
So they're reloaded, and you know they'll be in the thick of things with the NFC.
What do you think about Trey Lance going to the Cowboys? Let's get that real quick.
I love Cowboys drama. I love to just see them just be a national shit show. I love it. Every national game I bet against the Cowboys. I almost always bet against the Cowboys. Any nationally televised game. Just more controversy. I think the Cowboys will also be in the running for 2024 drafting a quarterback. I think this is the last
Even with Trey and
year
Dak, they're that crazy.
break it or make it with Dak. And even with a Trey Lance, I think if they're anywhere within the top 15, Jerry Jones makes a splash and tries to land a Caleb Williams or a Drake May or something like that.
I was cracking up. I saw, I guess, Trey Lance is wearing 15 for the Cowboys.
Quinn Ewers, they might even try to take a flyer on Quinn Ewers just because it's a Texas thing.
No, you know they're going to go? Joe Milton out of Tennessee. That's a Jerry guy.
Joe Milton.
Yeah, that guy's stock is just shooting up. But you see, apparently Trey Lance is wearing 15 for the Cowboys.
I did not see
And someone took a picture of it and posted it and just said, Jerry Jones definitely thought he traded for Patrick Mahomes. Because he just, yeah, I'm like, that's fucking funny. But do you have any confidence in the Giants? They traded for Waller, old Raider.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, like Coach Dable, that team plays for him. They've definitely, what's that, achieved with their quarterback situation. So I think the Giants finally have some weapons that Daniel Jones can throw to. A healthy Darren Waller is a top 3.
He got picked early as fuck in my fantasy league last night, by the way.
A healthy Darren Waller is a top 3 tight end in the league, and that's his only thing. If he stays healthy, he's gonna light up the middle of the field for Daniel Jones, where he likes to throw. I can see the Giants in the running for a wild card spot, definitely.
Talk about health though.
Right there,
Saquon,
neck to neck with the
Darren,
Cowboys.
you got all injuries across the
Exactly.
board.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
We'll see. And then what do you think about the commies, the old Commanders?
Yeah, the old commies. They're gonna finish last.
Yeah, they might get Caleb Williams. It's gonna be them.
They
in
might be in
Arizona.
the race to Caleb, which I can totally see them making moves if they're anywhere in the top 10 for him, because Caleb Williams is from the D.C. area. He would be a homecoming type pick and a splash with this new ownership. If they want to sell tickets going into next year to reset everything and bring in, the hometown favorite.
Before we move on, what do you think about the Cowboys' defense though? Their defense is legit.
Their defense is stacked.
And they
On
just traded for
every level.
Stephon Gilmore too. Did you
On
see that?
every level, their defense is stacked. But the Cowboys will cowboy.
Yeah.
I can't wait. The Cowboys are going to cowboy.
So
As long as
are
Jerry
you
Jones is
taking
in
it as
charge,
it lies? Eagles number 1, Commanders last.
Yeah, I would say Eagles, Cowboys, wild card spot, Giants, potential wild card spot, Commies looking to draft a hometown favorite, Caleb Williams next year.
The NFC's light, so I think they're light.
Yeah.
The AFC's stacked.
As long as Jerry Jones is the de facto GM of that team ain't winning shit.
Yeah.
They're not.
I don't see anyone really outside the Eagles or the Niners. We're going to rush. I don't want to rush there, but I don't see any teams out of them winning the NFC, period.
Prediction. Here you go. I'm calling it now. Cowboys fire Mike McCarthy.
Another Pittsburgh guy.
And either try to make a splash if Bill Belichick is available.
Wow.
Go after a Belichick.
I can't see him and Jerry
that's
getting
not
along.
going to work. But
Yeah.
they'll definitely reach out. Or Deion Sanders. You heard it here.
Wow.
And it'll be a package deal with drafting his son, and Deion Sanders becomes a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. I was gonna
heard it here first.
I was gonna say because I don't think the Jerry and Bill thing. But as much as I don't like that, as much as I think that's almost too good. That
Jerry
is.
Jones makes a
I haven't heard
splash.
anyone say that either. That's a good
Coach
take.
Prime.
I liked your take
Gives
more
it a
with
shot.
Billy going to the Browns because he'll get carte blanche. They'll just let him. He'll be a GM coach. He'll be the emperor.
But Jerry Jones will reach out to him if he's available.
Yeah.
But it'll be shot down. Just like, again, Parcells and Jones butted heads too. But he'll always try to make that big splash to the best coach out there. But he comes calling Deion. He comes calling for Deion. If he's not talking to him already.
I love that take. And you know what else? I want to put a cherry on top of that, if I could. Deion becomes a coach, and they draft his son to be the new quarterback.
That's what I said. It's
Yeah.
going to be a package deal.
Should you think?
Because Shedeur Sanders, he was my dark horse candidate for the Heisman before the season. He was my dark horse candidate. Shedeur Sanders is the real deal.
I wonder what his odds were. They're probably crazy bet.
And I bet you there's still good odds.
Yeah.
I bet you there's still good odds. But it would be a package deal. Dion comes with his son
That would
to
be
the Cowboys.
I
mean, the kid grew up on the sidelines.
right. That would be a very Jerry and Dion thing to do.
Correct.
And they would just let everyone know their plan. They're like, we're drafting him.
Yep.
Don't get in the way.
Yep, it's a package deal.
I like that.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that. Another clip. NFC North we'll go to next.
The NFC Norris division.
So the Lions are favored? Whoa.
Yes, they are. Lions are favored, man. Yep. It's the year. Now, I'm not going to say it's the year of the Lions. It's the off season of the Lions.
You could say the year because ever since Hard Knocks last year, I swear.
Yeah.
It's been the year of the Lions. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That is crazy though. How are they? I'll tell you guys right now. If the Vikings are plus 300 to win the NFC North, I'm taking that. Absolutely taking it. As much as they broke my heart last year, not very confident in it. Not very confident in it. But that offense, and you add Jordan Addison to it, and T.J. Hawkinson.
Right.
Oh my Lord.
I know, but then you ask, do the Vikings have another collapse like they had last year? Because wasn't it last year when they rattled off like 10 or 11 straight, or was it the year before?
So
It was one of those years where they went undefeated all the way up to like week 10 or some crazy.
no,
shit,
last
and
year
they
last
shot
year was the
bet.
crazy year, and then but the thing about last year, they were the only team I think in NFL history to have double-digit wins and have a bottom 5 defense.
Right. Yeah.
So that they kind of remind me of the Bengals, but instead of Kirk's not as good as Burrow. Like you have JJ,
Right.
you have Jamar Chase, you got all these
now, do
T
they
Higgins.
do that again? I don't know. I think they finally. I mean, again,
It was lucky. It was lucky.
Jordan Addison has been balling out, and they
Dude.
say he's a good number 2.
I love him.
Yeah, Jordan Addison has been a baller. You've liked him since the Pittsburgh days.
Mhm.
You know, I started really paying attention to him when he became a Trojan, and by all accounts, he's been balling this offseason. I mean, I see that even with I don't even know who their running back is.
They got Alexander Mattinson now. He was always Dalvin's backup. He's more of a bruiser instead of a speed
He's
guy.
more of a bruiser.
More of
Okay.
a bruiser.
You know, I don't see them going anywhere. I see them, you know, in a weak NFC. I see the Vikings being a potential wild card, so I'll rank them 2. And then I haven't seen any of the Packers quarterback, so I have the Packers finishing 4th. I have the Bears, and I have Justin Fields taking another leap forward and finishing 3rd because I think he has some weapons this year.
They trade for DJ Moore.
They have DJ Moore, and he's getting more comfortable, and it's the same system.
I like Justin Fields too. I think he's a good quarterback.
Mhm.
I actually do like him.
If the 49ers would have done what they should have done
And take him.
and took Justin Fields instead of trading 3
They would have won a
first-round
Super Bowl by
picks,
now. Yep.
Justin Fields would be an MVP candidate.
Especially
He'd
because
be a candidate for the MVP.
Especially because he would have Kyle Shanahan.
In that
Kyle
system.
Shanahan is such a good coach.
That's what I'm saying. In that system, he is an MVP candidate. So I got the Bears 3rd. I got the Packers finishing.
How funny is it that
because I haven't seen that quarterback.
2 of the best coaches in the league, we were talking about earlier, Vrabel and Shanahan. If either of those guys had a quarterback, it's just like
Yeah.
hilarious. Like those guys can't get a quarterback. Like,
Right.
Like and their teams
that's-
are all
that's
and they have
the-
crazy good run games like Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. You have all these Pro Bowlers on defense,
Right.
and you just DeAndre
And-
Hopkins,
and
Deebo
you don't-
Samuel.
Yeah.
That just shows you how important quarterback
and you
is.
don't have a trigger man, you know?
Shows how important quarterback is in this fucking league, man.
I could also see that Lions OC becoming a head coach next year, too. He's going to be a hot name coming in the next offseason.
Their whole coaching staff's hot. You got Deuce Staley working for him. You got Antoine Randall.
Aaron Glenn.
He's about all former players. That's
All
how.
former
That's
players.
how it was.
He's very
Shout
smart.
out Jack Del Rio when I was working for the Raiders. Our coaching staff, bro.
Very smart.
Our coaching staff. They were talking about the one time. They're like the players. They were like, dude, they could beat the fuck out of any other coaching staff in the league. It was
Yeah.
Del Rio,
Ken Norton Jr.
Woodson. Yeah, Kenny Norton
Chuck Woodson.
Jr. Sinceri.
Hall of Famer. I'm blanking on our cornerback's name, but Hall of Famer cornerback was always there as an advisor. Willie
Brown.
Yeah, Willie Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Biletnikoff was always around.
Oh yeah, me and Fred's wife. Shout out Angela Blitnikoff. She was always like doing the women's associated stuff
Yeah.
with me. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome family. Awesome family.
So that's the way to do it, you know, because when your position coaches have actually been there in the league before, you can't say shit as a player.
Yeah.
You can't complain. You can't do anything. 'cause
Especially when they've had
actually been there
success.
before.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah,
when they've had
and
success.
And they were balling.
Yeah,
in the
like
league.
you got fucking Shout out Rod Woodson. Got the ball back there. It's like you have him telling you how to play DB. It's like I'm gonna listen. Like that guy.
I'm gonna listen to Rod Woodson.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to Rod. So I'm actually gonna take the Lions to finish first. And
That's what I have. I have Lions first.
Or no. Oh, sorry, Vikings.
You have the Vikings.
Freudian,
You have the
Freudian
Vikings
slip.
finishing
Yeah,
first.
I'm
Yeah.
having Vikings
And
finish
Lions
first,
is
and
potential,
Lions are definitely second. It's
wild
going to be
card.
between them. But I like the Bears too. The Bears could scare me. That division, I don't want to bet on. I'm staying away from that division, honestly. But the only thing I would bet on is the Packers to finish last, if that's available.
I would definitely bet on the Lions being a top 5 offense, along with the Vikings being a top 5 offense.
That's wild.
Which is wild growing up with the NFC North division, because that division has always been defense first. Defense, run the ball. Now they're airing it out between the Lions and the Vikings.
I miss watching Stafford just ball it out to Calvin.
How bad of a franchise you have to be to have 2 generational.
Don't want to compare them, but I am.
Generational players, once in a 20-year player like Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders quit on you.
Quit on you.
How bad do you have to be?
But Calvin's another guy who was just, he had speed, but he was like a guy who just contested catch motherfucker. Like,
any 50-50. The guy was 6'5", 240. You threw it up. He was grabbing it. He grew. They highlights him grabbing it against 3 Cowboys.
100%. Like that was.
He can play in any era.
That was insane.
Barry can play in any era.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson can play wide receiver and be a top 3 guy in any era.
I'll take it to my grave. We want to get this in here. I'll take it to my grave. So we got to see Calvin Johnson break the receiving record. Right. And that'll be a record that will get broken, right? Michael Thomas has the reception record.
What are you talking about, per game?
No, the all-time receiving yards for a season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he broke Jerry. That was the one record that somebody touched Jerry Rice.
And that's a record that will end up getting broken because it will. You know what I mean?
You think so? You think somebody will get Jerry Rice?
Well, no. So Michael Thomas got the all-time actual catches, right?
Yeah, you're talking about for the season.
But for yards, right? Yards wise.
Yeah, I got you.
Yards. And that's a record that we're going to see get broken because of how much people pass now. It's just inevitable. But we were 8 yards from seeing Adrian Peterson break the all-time rushing record, and they were trying to make the playoffs. They won the game, made the playoffs, but he was 8 yards away, and I'm like, dude, you guys know you aren't winning the Super Bowl. Just fucking get him the record. Like, I was so like, and because I'm like, that's a record that if he would have got it, it wouldn't be broken. Like, because people don't rush the ball like they used to. So like the Adrian Peterson record, it isn't a record because I think it's still not Emmitt Smith. It's still Eric Dickerson, I think, has the all-time season.
Yep. You're right. It's still Eric Dickerson.
Cheers on that. Remember that.
It is still ED.
So it's that's a record that we'll never have broken. So it sucks. So I wanted to see that really bad, and they could have won and gave it to him, but they were like, let's just kneel it.
You know what's crazy?
Get out of here.
If Barry Sanders is playing today, Barry Sanders would be getting paid like a 6th-round draft pick. He'd be still the best running back in the league. He's still making everyone look foolish, but he wouldn't get paid shit.
Wait, you're talking about how the running backs are going to be out?
Because that whole Josh Jacobs situation. Running backs franchise tag is the 2nd lowest. The only lower tag are kickers and punters. That's how much running backs are devalued nowadays.
It was zag back, and you played running back. We love the position. Like, I think it's very important.
There were decades that went when your running back was the most important piece of your offense.
100%.
And the showcase and winning Heisman's every single year.
Yep. And especially the NFL franchise that we grew up on is like you got Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, Jerome Bettis, Franco Harris. It's like we were spoiled with having sick ass running backs, and that's like that's a position that I've always had respect for too, because like once you play football, you're like it's just such a sick position because you have to have such a vision. You have to be so smart. And not everybody.
And Barry Sanders had
one of my best friends, Mike Costas, small dude, wrestler dude, but he was one of our best running backs. His vision, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He just like
that was Barry all day.
Yeah, like shout out Mike, one of my best friends. He'll listen to this. So. All right, we'll go NFC South next. This is the hardest probably to do in the whole NFC. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks. My buddy Hunter, he'll watch this episode too. He is the biggest Bucks fan, even though he grew up in Pittsburgh. So he got me to draft Rashard White last night. He's all over the Bucks. He's trying to convince himself on Baker, which good luck, Hunter.
Your buddy's name is what?
Hunter.
I'm looking at the camera. Hunter. You guys have the worst quarterback situation in the NFL.
I know.
By far.
He's going to love this.
And the Bucks will be in the running next year in the 2024 draft for a quarterback, and we'll be picking 1 or 2. The Bucks have a horrendous quarterback room. With that said, I think it's one of the weakest quarterback divisions. I think Derek Carr, former Raider, is the best quarterback in that division, seconded by Geno Smith.
No, that's not Geno. We're talking.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're talking.
What are we doing? NFC. Oh, sorry, NFC South.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was the NFC West. Sorry about that.
I thought you were gonna say
he is the best quarterback in the NFC South. Second best is we have Ritter.
We got Bryce Young.
We have Bryce Young, and then
what do you think about Bryce Young? I don't think he's gonna be good.
Whatever the fuck Tampa has. Bryce Young might be the second best quarterback in that division.
We're not saying much.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not big on Ritter, really. I liked him in college.
Jameis Winston might be the second best quarterback in that division. He's not even playing.
That is kind of crazy to think about. That is kind of crazy.
So it's a very weak quarterback division in the NFC South. Ritter, we'll see what happens. I know this. They're gonna run the shit out of the ball.
Yeah.
And they got some giants out there catching the ball.
Yep. Well, that's the thing is I drafted the running back last night, and he's been in my ear.
Bijan's gonna yeah. He's gonna touch. He's gonna get a lot of carries and catches. If you're in a points per reception league, he's gonna ball out. But they got one of the young stud tight ends. They got Drake London.
I don't think the Bucks are gonna finish last in that division though.
Who do you think are gonna finish? Atlanta?
I think it's gonna be the Panthers.
I think the
Panthers.
Right.
I think the Panthers have so many problems. I don't think Bryce Young is that great. He's the only. If you think about it, he's the only quarterback at Alabama that didn't win. Like everyone else who went to Alabama, at least Tua, you can say whatever.
What he won the Heisman though.
Yeah, but he didn't. He was the only one who didn't win a national championship. Like he didn't like. They lost multiple games or a game every season. He was the starting quarterback there. So it's just I don't know. It just seems like he had a lot to work with, and I know he played against good LSU teams, really good Georgia teams. But
I'm interested to see him taking his first big lumps. Because it's not. He's small. The stature's not the issue with him. It's his weight. He's light in the ass.
Yeah. I don't know. In small quarterbacks, that's the one position that I don't want to small. Like I'm good with being short pretty much anywhere but quarterback, especially nowadays with these fucking monsters.
Like Russell Wilson has success. He's the same height. Kyler Murray has success. It's not the shortness. They can have a success. It's just he's light in the ass though. He's the thinnest of all of them.
Yeah.
So him taking big hits. It'll be interesting to see.
But how much success has Kyler had? Like Russell Wilson, you could say was in a great situation. I don't know. Panthers, I'm down on them. I think they're gonna be last in that division.
Yeah, you make that argument.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Lost DJ Moore.
I say it's a toss up between the Panthers and the Bucks for last in that division. But I have to say it's between that division is going to be owned by the Saints or the Falcons.
And I think I am gonna take the Saints to win that division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's safe money.
Yep. Only experienced quarterback, blah, blah, blah.
Only experienced quarterback, yeah.
And their offense, Olave, get Kamara back after his suspension. I like it. All right, we got the last division here, guys. NFC West.
NFC West.
So this is the interesting one. Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals are plus 3,500 to win the division.
Cardinals are officially tanking. They're going to be in the running for – listen, if you're going to be tanking or be a bad team this year, this is the great year to do it because there's going to be a legit 7 quarterbacks that are going in the first round that are solid quarterbacks, that are like really good quarterbacks who are balling out, and a couple quarterbacks who we didn't know were going to be first rounders who are projected now who are going to be in the first round, like Shedeur Sanders and like that kid you were talking about, like Milton I always mispronounce his name, but Penix, the lefty out of Washington, he's a stud. And then you got Drake May, you got Caleb Williams. You got again, if Quinn Ewers has a decent year, I guarantee he's going to be in the first round discussion as well. So you got a deep quarterback class coming out.
And I would take May, Williams, or Milton over Anthony Richardson, who just got drafted. I would have took any of them over him.
Yeah,
right?
Probably, yeah. Because Anthony Richardson only played 13 games,
and he was terrible.
Like, he was 54, 53% completions.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a guy who has an arm, but he's not accurate. He doesn't have the touch.
He's gonna need a year or two.
100%. He's.
But they got the they got the right coach. They got the OC from Philly. So they're gonna be very run oriented. I don't know how you can be. You're not paying Jonathan Taylor, so I don't know how that situation will go.
That's what I'm trying to say. And they're starting him. You don't start him.
Pill popping owner of a fucking.
You don't.
That Colts owner is like he is like one of those Florida leather dudes, like just leather skin, just pill popping.
Oh, and his dad. I mean, his dad
just-
owned the team. He's
Yeah,
a
he
he's
is
a he's
just
a
a
trust
shit
fund baby.
show.
Yeah.
He is just Florida trash.
Well, he's the one who ruined the Jonathan Taylor thing. He tweeted out the running backs are like they signed the collective bargaining agreement, blah blah blah. But digressing, I would take any of those guys off over Anthony Richardson any day of
but
the week.
you think okay? So then we're both in agreement the Cardinals are gonna finish last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cardinals are tanking. Rams, man, what a drop off since their Super Bowl run. And you know what? But we expect that was going to happen. That's what you do when you put all your chips to the front and say we're in it to win the Super Bowl.
And they did it.
And they got it done. And so now they might be in rebuild mode. Who knows? This might be McVay's last year. If Aaron Donald calls it quits, if what's his name Matthew Stafford calls it quits, why would McVay stick around? He might get that cushy TV gig that they're offering him. And, you know.
I mean, he's young. He can go anywhere and get a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywhere.
Be back in the league 3
He was good with Jared Goff. He's a great coach. He's maybe one of the best in the league.
And be back in the league 3 years from now, right? Do TV for a little bit.
I agree with you though. I'm on the sole. There's teams in the NFL still. There's fan bases, poor fan bases. They've never won a Super Bowl. So if I would sell it all to go win 1 year.
That's why we play
So
the game.
100%. So I hate when people.
It's because we're Laker fans, and
Yeah.
the Lakers every single year,
Mhm.
damn there's no rebuild.
No,
It's just reloading.
100%.
We put it on the line for titles.
that's Steelers too. We're not okay with being bad.
No.
Like it's not. We had 1 year of a rebuild and we still had a over 500 squad. You know what I mean? It's like we don't. I'm not okay with. That's why I feel bad for these fan bases that are like you never won a
Right.
Super Bowl. It's like God damn.
Right.
So I'm all with the Rams doing that.
I was too. Absolutely.
You know what? This is. I want to hear your thoughts on this because Pittsburgh people they all know about this. So big Pittsburgh theory is that the Rams are going to suck and then they're going to trade us Aaron Donald because he went to Pitt
Go back home.
and we get him
You
in the
don't think
middle.
he's gonna call it quits,
Well,
or you think
give him like a 2-year rental in Pittsburgh and then
2-year rental,
try to
and
win
then-
with
and
Cam
then
Hayward
call-
and
and then
TJ
call
and
it
them.
quits.
Yeah, it's like, and we could play him just straight at
That'd be
deep nose
dope.
tackle, right?
I mean, that's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
For Steeler
His old
fans.
college field we play on
That'd be dope.
because Pitt and yeah.
I have the Rams finishing third, and then it's really, honestly, this Brock Purdy experiment. I don't know. I don't know if that was just a fluke, and Kyle Shanahan do his magic again. But now teams have the book out on Brock Purdy, right? Now he's played enough games to where teams have scouted Brock Purdy, and your backup Sam Darnold. So Niners, I gotta say the Seahawks and good old Pete is gonna win this division.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Niners
Nick
take.
Bosa's up in the air.
Yeah, I agree with you on the
I'm
Niners.
sorry, Nick Bosa, Joey, Nick, right?
Nick, yeah,
Nick.
you're right. You're right. It doesn't look like him or Kittle are gonna play against the Steelers week 1, by the way. So
Right.
we're hammering Steelers money line week 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bets, hammer, yeah. Bet Steelers money line week 1. What was it? 3.5? Last time I
2.5,
checked?
2.5, but they're
now?
plus like 150. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
But
buy it to 3, guys. Field goal. 3.
Yeah.
3 points. Is the most.
we'll be all right. We'll take the money line. And parlay it with something else. Anyway, you know I will. Anyway, I'll parlay it with probably 6 different things. I'm sick. Anyway, that's a clip.
18 parlay. I need help.
But I agree with you. Like a lot of the stuff I was watching some highlights from the Niners playoff run, and Purdy does not have a strong arm. It was a lot of ducks that were kind of just getting there, and like it was a lot of they were putting
a lot of bootleg.
they were putting a lot of
again,
safeties in
that-
the box, thinking they were going
that-
to run, and
Again,
then
Christian McCaffrey is the most important piece of that.
100%. And that's the one thing I am. If we're going to talk about week 1 Steelers preview, I am a little nervous week 1 because if they're
You have a
smart,
healthy
if
Christian
they're
McCaffrey.
smart, exactly. You have the only time of year he's healthy.
Yep.
And if they're smart, they'll McCaffrey out of the backfield and they'll just drag Raul Debo. They're not going to, especially if Kittle's not playing. They're not going to put him down the field. No, because Kittle is like such a good blocker that they were going to use him.
McCaffrey is going to get a lot of touches.
Well, they would just chip TJ with Kittle all the time.
Yeah.
If Kittle doesn't play, it's a different game.
Right.
I'm almost hoping he doesn't play more than Nick, because Nick hasn't. He can probably turn it on any time, but he hasn't been practicing, hasn't been with the team. It's like you're not in football shape.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about Kittle.
I mean, we've heard no off-season drama with the Seahawks.
No, I can't believe they committed to Geno like that. Because coming up in Pittsburgh, like Geno, obviously WVU, like huge Pitt WVU rivalry. Backyard brawl is actually next week. Pitt,
Yeah.
they took it off for like 10 years. huge game. And Geno was always a big part of it. And back when they had to hit Tavon Austin and shit.
Yeah, man.
But I just couldn't believe. I'm a very big. Actually, last year when I was in Vegas, it was Geno versus the Steelers, and T.J. Watt strip sack for the win. And I had obviously when I'm in Vegas had a ton of money on the game. But he's perfect for that team because they actually only need a game manager. And that's kind of what we're finding out Russ was. Like, that's exactly what Russ was. So that's why they let Russ go for all that money, and now they're being able to spend all this money on the other parts of the team, and that's why they're so good. They drafted Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
They fucking they're stacked at receiver. They might have the best
Tyler
tree.
Lockett. You got what's his
Metcalf.
name? Big homie Metcalf.
Oh my God!
I
then
mean,
Kenneth Walker,
and then
great
K9,
running back.
Yeah, man.
And then they took that UCLA running back in the second
K9,
round.
and they got Charbonnet, who's going to be a big part of the team. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that team is really. There's no offseason drama. There's been offseason drama with every single team in the NFC West, but the Seahawks.
That might be a good bet. Plus 230. That might be a good bet, dude. That might be one of the best ones we've seen in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go back and go through these, but
So do you have it ranked that way too? You have Seahawks, Niners.
You know what I am? Just because I think Steelers are going to beat Niners week 1 too. So if I'm taking that, I don't want to beat. They'll have better odds week 2
Yeah.
if I don't. So
Seahawks win the division, then Niners, Rams.
that's a
Cardinals.
great one. All right, and we're going to get into our last segment here. We're going to go through who we think is going to be the AFC Championship, the NFC Championship, the Super Bowl, and then we're going to end it on not a rapid fire, but a kind of quick, who we like in the NFL, who we don't like in the NFL. I think you got a feel for it, so we're gonna go through it quick.
MVP.
But
You want to do MVPs?
we'll do MVP too.
All right.
Defensive Player of the Year,
Yeah,
MVP.
Yeah. All right, bet.
Yeah, and we'll also do Rookie of the Year.
All right, bet.
All right, so we'll start with the individual player awards. Actually, we'll go with team since we've been on team.
Okay.
So, who do you think is going to win the NFC?
I think NFC is the easier pick.
I agree.
I think it's going to be a combination of Philly, and I think it's going to be a team we don't see, like the Seahawks
Like the Lions.
or the Lions. But I think Philly, only thing standing in their way is injury. I think.
Philly has the second best odds to win the Super Bowl from the NFC.
They do? Okay.
Yeah, it's them and the
Who's the
Niners.
first? Niners?
They're first. They're first from the NFC.
Okay, then the Niners are.
Then the Niners, yeah, and then the next NFC team is the Cowboys, actually.
Yeah, they're fucking shit show and drama queens.
So if I had to pick, I think I would take the Eagles to win the NFC.
I got the Eagles.
I was thinking about the Niners, but after we
Seahawks.
talked about it more, after we kind of analyzed, I think the Eagles are the
something
pick.
like Eagles, Seahawks in the NFC Championship, or the Eagles and a team that's gonna come out of nowhere, like I don't know, or the Lions, or a team that's gonna come out of nowhere.
It's gonna be a bird game. Eagles, Seahawks,
It's gonna be a
or
bird game.
Eagles, Cardinals.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bird game.
And
Or Eagles, Cardinals. Yeah, or Eagles like Packers. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, that kid. What's that quarterback's name?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. All of a sudden,
That is the
like
crazy
a
thing about them
man,
is like they could be good because
and
their running backs
lights
are
it up.
gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
their line's good.
But it's gonna be Eagles in that.
Okay, so now this is the hard one, the AFC.
AFC. Yes, that's the hard one.
That is the hard one. The
You go first.
most favorite team is Kansas City, of course.
Of course.
Then Buffalo. Then Bengals. Then the Jets. Whoa. And then the Ravens. So that's the top 5.
I can see the Ravens in the AFC Championship. I can see, of course, the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. But I can also see a team like maybe the Bills make the AFC Championship again. I can see, but here's my pick. I have the Dolphins
Whoa.
in the AFC Championship.
Wow.
I have the Dolphins
Wow.
in the AFC Championship. That's what I have. Against either the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bills, some of those teams.
That's
I do not see the Jets in the AFC Championship.
so crazy enough. No one's disagreeing with that much. Actually, the 9th best odds to win the Super Bowl is the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
So they have the top 10 odds to win the whole thing, that's pretty crazy, especially with how stacked the AFC is from top to bottom. So that's not a crazy thing. So I guess if I said AFC, I mean I'm obviously gonna throw some money on the Steelers to win the Super Bowl plus 5,000. We'll throw that in there. I'm definitely that's something, and that's $50 at least, maybe 100. And but unfortunately, if I had to bet today,
Yeah.
probably gonna be the goddamn Chiefs. I don't want it to be though. I really like. If I had it my way, I can't really bet on any the other favorite teams are all like the Bengals and the Ravens, and I can't take them. I can't take them. That's not happening. So
I mean, can I see the Bengals? I mean, how is Joe Burrow playing week 1, or is he out?
It's up in the air, but knowing Joe Shiesty, I bet he plays. He'll tough it out.
And I think just like the
especially
Chargers,
because it's divisional game. It's Browns, Bengals
just
week
like
1.
Justin Herbert, like the Chargers are charging his career.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals are gonna bangle this thing up between Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I
That
couldn't agree more.
carpetbagger of an owner is
Couldn't
not
agree
going to
more.
pay both of them.
No.
You know they're going to be unhappy.
Uh-huh.
You know Joe Burrow's going to get his dick kicked in.
And if they do pay both of them,
Beat
it's
up.
just gonna be both of them. And then they'll be like, "Be happy I paid you guys. I don't want you to ask
And
for
have
anything
a
else.
shell of a team.
I don't want you to ask for anything else." Yeah.
Have a shell of a team.
That's what I mean.
And
The Browns, they've been. That's the thing. That's what I was. Remember, we started the show and I said the one team I respect in our division is the Ravens because they actually don't do that. You know, it's like the Browns and the Bengals. I'm always like, dude, you guys. I've been seeing the same thing out of you guys for 30 years.
They're going to bangle that situation.
100%, just like the Browns do. When someone gets drafted by the
Joe
Bengals, I'm
Burrow's
just like,
going to get his dick kicked
I'm
in.
just like, well, there goes his career.
Yeah. He's going to be hurt,
See ya.
unhappy.
Yeah, it's almost
So-
like what's hopefully the Commanders with Magic getting in there, they fix that fucking
Yeah,
franchise.
hopefully,
but
hopefully Magic, rubs
God
his
damn,
little
it's-
magic
yeah.
sauce because Magic wins at everything he does, you guys. We're talking about Magic Johnson.
yep,
Magic Johnson wins at everything that man does.
he brought LeBron to the Lakers.
Even HIV.
Yeah.
He wins at everything he
Literally.
does.
Mind over matter, and it don't matter to Magic. All right, so we'll go off. Everyone, this is easy. We'll start with a good note. We'll start with a wholesome note. The best odds, it's obviously should happen, will happen. Damar Hamlin winning comeback player of the year just for playing this year, making the roster.
Absolutely.
From Pitt, he went to
Good
Pitt.
for him. Right.
He's from Pittsburgh, went to Pitt, so great guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna win. I don't even want to bet on it. You don't even bet on it because there's 1,000,000 to 1 odds at this point. Everyone knows he's gonna win that award. But then we'll go to offensive rookie of the year. Who do you think is gonna win that?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Second round, tight end, and steal of the second round, Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre
Ooh.
Dame.
Oh,
Raiders.
I was gonna say
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Garoppolo loves to throw the middle of the field, and him, along with Hunter Renfrow, are right there. I think Mayer is going to be a very integral part of the Raiders' offense and potential Rookie of the Year candidate.
I like it. I like it.
I had to do one Raiders bias take. That's my one Raiders bias take.
Can't hate it. Number 1 odds up is Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that's like the one. Yeah,
Bryce Young
that makes sense.
is number 2.
Anthony Richardson, number 3. Jamar Gibbs from the Lions. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot of good things about this kid. They're going to use him a lot.
Yeah,
He can run and catch it out of the backfield.
I think if I'm just gonna talk, I'm gonna talk from my heart and then I'm gonna talk from my brain. Brain, pick a quarterback because quarterbacks I feel like always win that award. Like it's so rare that they don't. Bijan Robinson would have to have a crazy year. Bryce Young throws 20+ touchdowns. He's winning the award. So I don't know if it's him. I kind of like CJ Stroud at plus 850.
Yeah,
because I think he's just the best quarterback of any of them.
I do. I think he's the best quarterback of this class. Yeah.
But if you want to get a sneaky, really good odds, plus 1,600, Jordan Addison.
I like Jordan Addison. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I also like Zay Flowers.
I do too. I drafted him last night.
I think Zay Flowers might put up the same, if not better numbers than your boy George Pickens.
I would be
saying
shocked,
that.
but just because they don't throw the ball nearly as much, and I don't think he's that good, but plus 2,000, and you got plus 1,600, and then plus 850 on CJ Stroud. Those are just throw $50 on each of them, you get a massive haul back on any of those bets. Like,
Absolutely.
We'll go for defensive player of the year for rookie defensive.
I mean,
Everyone's gonna take that kid out of the kid that went to Houston.
Jalen Carter.
Oh, that's a sneaky
Jalen
pick. I
Carter.
don't know if he would have the best odds.
Jalen Carter out of the Eagles, man.
Will Anderson has the best odds. That's what I thought.
Will Anderson has the best odds.
I kind of like the Jalen Carter plus 700.
Plus 700. How much is Tyree Wilson from the Raiders?
Uh,
Especially if Chandler Jones.
plus 1,000.
Especially if Chandler, because he's second behind Chandler right
Yeah.
now in the depth chart. If Chandler's gone, then Tyree's a starter.
And those odds are probably going to shoot up.
Right.
Might be a good thing to get on now. It's plus 1,000. But
Right.
he's actually the 4th best odds, so people are kind of on it. That's not a.
Yeah.
Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh. That's going to be for the Bucks. That's a good pick. Plus 2,200. Joey Porter Jr.
How
plus
about
2,500.
2,500. Joe Porter Jr.
Yeah, I would even take Cansey though because he's going to start week 1.
Uh-huh.
He's like definitely that's a great bet. He was ACC Defensive Player of the Year, first round pick. Love that. Clyde's a Kansas pick. All right. And then we will go to
NFL MVP.
MVP. Who do you think going to be? And I'll just make a rule. They're just not Mahomes because they need a LeBron rule
That's
him.
easy.
You remember when LeBron was obviously the MVP every year, and they were like, all right, let's just not give it to him. Let's give it to Derrick Rose and shit. As
Well,
much as I
that
love
was-
Derrick
That
Rose,
was like the Jordan years. That's
As
when
much
we're
as I
like,
love
all
Derrick
right,
Rose.
Karl Malone won an MVP
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah.
They're just tired.
Olajuwon, yeah, like it's
Giving
like,
it to Jordan,
yeah, it's like,
you
come on.
know?
But they need to start doing that from Mahomes. But if you outside of Mahomes, who you taking?
I mean, Joe Burrow's going to be in the running if he's healthy.
Joe, I can't believe he hasn't won one. That's a guy who has to get one.
I mean, if he's healthy and Miami does their thing, Tua will be an MVP candidate.
That would be.
Then you have Jalen Hurts.
Jalen's
who's
a
gonna
good,
be
another
MVP candidate,
great.
right?
Yeah, that's another.
Jalen
one.
Hurts, and then you have Buffalo, the quarterback out of Buffalo. That's what I can think of right now. Who do you have?
I would take. If I had to say today.
We know it's not going to be a running back.
You know who I think it's going to be? And this is kind of I don't know, but maybe we should pull up the odds, but outside the box pick, I think it's going to be Rodgers again.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, because I think it's going
If
to. He's
he
going
pulls it off with the Jets?
Yeah, like if he gets.
You think Aaron Rodgers could overcome that Jet stink?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Think
All I'm
about
saying,
this, gentlemen.
he doesn't have to win a Super Bowl though. I'm just saying. I'm not.
Kawhi Leonard
I'm
was
just
the
saying.
reigning NBA MVP when he became a Clipper. You can't overcome the stink of teams.
Hey, Mark Sanchez took him to the AFC Championship game. I was there. I was at that
did.
game.
He
So I'm
did.
saying
That's right.
if Mark
Fight on.
if Mark Sanchez can do it, I don't think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. I think the Jets might make it to the AFC Championship. Like if he makes it to that, because it's a regular season award. It's
Apparently,
not.
according to Hard Knocks and that whole thing, they can't block.
I know they're trying to trade for Bacchiardi. Apparently,
They can't block.
Yeah, I heard that they're trying to trade, and that's apparently what we did. We jumped him to get that first round tackle out of Georgia. They were two picks before us. We traded right in front of them and took that Broderick Jones kid because apparently they were like everyone knew that they were like they needed to get a.
They can't block.
And that's exactly. I always say the best move that the Bucks made when they got Brady, they took Tristan Wirfs with their first pick. And he's amazing.
What
tackle.
wins in the playoffs and what wins on the road? Run game and a solid defense. That's what wins you those minus 20-degree games in Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Running the ball and good solid defense. They have a solid defense. You can't block, and you got that diva sitting back there. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, of course, Aaron Rodgers, you never count him out.
No,
That's what,
I
four
just
MVPs?
I just think it's gonna be more of a social darling of like if he gets the Jets to the playoffs, blah blah blah.
Well, yeah, he becomes legend.
Exactly.
The guy gets any success.
If he makes them,
with
they
the
have
Jets.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's gonna and he's already won.
Can you overcome
Yeah,
that
well,
stink?
we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But I
There
think
are a few
I
teams
agree
in
with you. I think they're a
sports.
team that's gonna make a trade pretty sooner than later.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end this with the kind of rapid fire questions
right, bet.
with both of us. So first one, we're gonna go out. Who is your favorite current NFL player?
Oh man, that's a good question.
We can make it offensive player, and then we'll go defensive.
I want to say Devontae Adams. I like Justin Jefferson a lot. I like short dudes. I love short dudes. I know Devontae Adams is not a short guy. Neither is Justin Jefferson. But just how they play wide receiver, they have the best releases. They's the best in the game.
I love Devontae. I was really
He brings his lunch pail to work every single day, man. The guy works.
yeah.
I mean, he's just a stud. I hope that the Raiders don't just waste his prime.
He's exactly what you want in a receiver. He's a. I mean, up until last year. Last year was the year I finally said that Justin Jefferson took over as the best receiver in the league. But I think
as of 2 years ago, it used to be if you would ask me this 2 years ago, I would say Kyler Murray just because he's the only Blasian quarterback, and I got to represent my Blasians,
Right.
Black and Korean. But it looks like he's gonna be out of a job here soon. So no, man, Devontae Adams.
that's your favorite offensive player. You got a favorite defensive player? You got anyone on defense that you like watching?
I mean, Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
I pay money to go see him play.
I couldn't agree more.
It's something what I'm witnessing live. is going to be on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest defensive players of all time, next to Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White and Ronnie Lott. Those guys.
I had a lot on the
Just watching him is
the Super Bowl
a gift.
Bengals versus Rams when I first moved out here, and I went with the Rams just because one, fuck the Bengals, but two, because of Aaron Donald. But
watching him is a gift right now.
If I had to say my favorite defensive player in the league, if Cam Hayward wasn't around right now, I'd probably say probably Cam Hayward or TJ Watt, one of those two. But 1A and 1B, love Minka too. But and then offensive, I'd probably say. I'm not going to take any of the Steelers because they're all too.
Just say Pat Mahomes. Just say Patrick Mahomes.
I was going to say Justin Jefferson. It was so awesome to get the first pick in my draft last night and get to take him because he last year, like I said, it would have been Devontae probably a year ago, but Justin Jefferson just took over. He's a freak of nature. That catch he made against the Bills last year I've never seen anything like it.
That dude's balling out. It is. We are officially in the era of the wide receiver.
All right, so we'll go right to. This will be a fun one.
I do like Tyreek Hill though, just because I know he's probably a shitty person with all this off the field stuff. But again, he's a short dude. I love short guys.
You gotta respect that.
Like, I'm rooting for this kid Tank Dell. I hope he's in the running for offense. I just reminded myself. I hope he's in the running for offensive player of the year or rookie of the year. Tank Dell
for Houston or whatever.
Houston,
yeah,
about 5'8", $170. Plays pissed off like I used to play. I love that shit. Hunter Renfrow. I always got love for third Renfrow. That's my guy. Guy was balding at fucking receding hairline 23. I love.
Well, that's maybe that's who you're gonna say because I was gonna say my next question was leads perfectly into it. I was gonna say who do you think is the biggest dork in the league, like the biggest nerd?
Might be comeback player of the year. Eligible.
Who Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
Because he's banged up all that.
That was I guess I answered that question.
Anyway,
so,
but yeah, biggest dork in the league. Yeah, you would never know he was a baller walking down the street if you saw him.
That was like remember when Luke Kuechly was in the league? I'm like that kid is a dork, but
just
he's a fucking
dork. But
kills it.
Again, you never judge a book, guys. Never.
And then so we'll go. Who's your least favorite player in the league? That's in the league right now.
Ooh, least favorite player in the league. Player in the league.
It used to be easy for me to say. I'd say Vontez Burfict, but he's not in the league anymore.
Vontez.
I hated him. He was a former Raider too.
Yeah, for LA kid too. Least favorite player. God.
It's hard to hate, but we're gonna hate a little bit.
Yeah. Try not to hate on dudes, but in terms of like being annoying. Wait, I just had it at the top of my head. The Bosas for me are annoying.
Joey Bosa's a good pick.
I know they're studs, but a little annoying. I'm drawing a blank.
Mine's Myles Garrett. Ever since he took that helmet off and tried to kill
Myles Garrett?
I hate Myles
right.
Garrett.
Okay,
yeah.
Myles Garrett.
Mine's an easy pick. I hate Myles Garrett.
Hated player. Like I said, I respect Patrick Mahomes. I respect Justin Herbert. I don't like Russell Wilson. I think he's a cornball.
Yeah, he is.
I think he is. Yeah. No, I was just going to say it, but I can't say it for air. But I'll tell you outside there who I think he is. He's a comedic he's the football version of a comic that we both think is a fucking hack and a cornball. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Of course.
Okay. He's that.
Say less. And then we'll end it on a high note. Who's your favorite offensive or defensive player of all time?
Defensive player of all time? Ronnie Lott's up there with me. God, I love Howie Long. I love me some Howie Long. Back in the day, Ronnie Lott's up there. LT was just a madman. I don't think they'll ever be. I think next to John Jones, the most dominant, coked up player we'll ever see
is
just
LT.
Coked up the entire time, and you still can't fucking block him. Like, just the man was insane.
That was like when remember the Legion of Boom had the big scandal where they were all taking Adderall.
Yeah.
And everyone,
yeah. That's
that was
amateur
LT.
hour.
Yeah,
That's amateur hour.
Imagine LT in the '80s, baby.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our next thing. Don't smoke crack.
Right,
The
exactly.
guy was smoking crack in the showers. So that's good. Defensive for me, I'd probably say my favorite all time.
I love Rod Woodson too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That was my first dude. If I ever played cornerback, I
understand my first jersey
Rod.
I have. My little ass. I
love
still
Rod.
have it, like jersey this big. I was gonna say Rod, and I probably should have wore it because I'm doing the podcast with you. I got a Color Rush Paul Mall jersey in there. I'll show you after the podcast. I should have let you wear it during the podcast. Damn.
Man.
But It's probably Troy because I got to see him play like throughout
see
his whole
him.
prime. Like when I was actually like
Yeah.
Rod was like I got to see the end. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
getting old enough to
Right,
like really
right,
like, and he was my first guy that I was like I love.
Right.
And that's why I played corner. I was like this is my guy.
Right.
But Palomalu because I'll never see anyone play like him again. He was the only guy you're like this is a once in a generation. You'll never see it again.
Yeah,
like, the
man.
instincts, the everything. I think Troy is probably my favorite. Another fight on guy.
Yes, that's right, baby.
I'm gonna when we go to the USC game this year. I'm gonna wear my Palomalu.
Yeah, as you should.
color rush, yeah.
Absolutely.
So then what about offensively? Shout out Joe.
Man, I have multiple. Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen. I get Dan Marino. I love John Elway.
Pick guy, Danny.
Elway, SoCal kid, Granada Hills High School. Man, I can go on and on out offensively. Tim Brown, Calvin Johnson, I loved.
You know, if you ask me,
Steve Smith was Carolina. Steve Smith was my favorite player of that generation because again, short running wide receiver just played pissed all the time.
You know who
Reminded me
you know who would have been my answer just a couple years ago, and you would have loved because he's on the short spectrum too.
Yeah,
Antonio Brown, bro.
Antonio Brown, man.
Antonio Brown, man.
I love, dude.
That guy brought me so much joy.
Yeah, I know.
And another small guy,
Another
like
small dude. Another what? 6th round draft pick? 5th round?
6th round at Eastern Michigan.
Steve Smith was I think 4th round, 4th or 5th
Bro.
round.
And
And you know he played with Ocho Cinco at Santa Monica JC.
Oh, word.
Santa Monica Junior College. Both him and Ocho Cinco were the starting wide receivers.
Yeah, AB. I have a picture on my phone of him. I was at the game where he became AB, where he caught the helmet catch against Baltimore in the playoffs. We won the Super Bowl that year. I was at that game. I know that was the year we lost the Super Bowl actually against Green Bay. Excuse me. I was at and that was also the AFC Championship against the Jets. I was at both those games.
Yeah.
And AB, I have a picture from training camp before that season of him sitting there eating ice. No one knew who he was. He's just sitting there on no one's bothering him. He's just chilling. And then he ends up becoming fucking maybe
Was it Central Michigan?
Yeah, Central Michigan. I said
Right?
Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan.
Central Michigan, right?
But again, that was the other thing is like, and AB, the whole thing came out of whatever. Don't even mean to get sidetracked, but he was like, he was gonna go to Florida State, and he went on his visit, and he got in a fight with the wide receiver coach, and like lost all of his D1 offers. So it's not like he didn't have problems before.
So that goes back. Yeah, his behavioral issues.
Exactly.
Well, like if
So when he
anybody
became AB, it was
on the way to catch him, it was gonna be Odell Beckham. Like those first 5 years before he started getting hurt, like Odell Beckham was putting up those numbers like Justin Jefferson's putting up numbers now. Like OBJ was putting up numbers like he was gonna start like.
Yeah.
And then he got injured. That just goes to show you how tough it is to have that consistency.
And it's
AB did.
AB says it now too. It's like he had a Hall of Fame quarterback that whole time.
And
like,
even-
you know,
right.
you have a Ben. It's
But
like
even
that.
then-
you don't.
He got injured in his head,
Yeah. Well,
fucked him up,
Fonta's perfect.
which then goes to show you then
Yeah.
how insane Jerry Rice is and how he is. Like, people sleep on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a lot, but when you look at his longevity
Oh yeah.
and how long he did it and the numbers that Kareem put up, I know LeBron caught him, but it takes a kid, it takes someone not even playing college to catch Kareem, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kareem played 4 years at UCLA.
I mean,
LeBron had to start at 18
yeah.
to catch him, right? Like, AB was on his way. Like, Calvin Johnson were on their way, and then just things get in the way. That just goes to show you Jerry Rice.
And it wasn't even just
insane.
It wasn't even just
Insane.
that
Longevity.
it wasn't even just that good sidetrack, but that Kareem was playing in college, but he was winning national championships. Like, dude,
And winning national
yeah,
championships.
dude, it wasn't like he was. Yeah,
Right.
People take out like he was the best college
But
player
he
maybe of
played
all time
college
too.
first
100%.
and then played 20
Yeah,
years.
he might be the best NBA and college player of all time. Like,
Yeah, right.
which is crazy to think about.
And you can't say that with any other athlete in any other sport.
Yeah,
Again, the skyhook, probably the greatest offensive. You could probably say the greatest offensive weapon of any sport was unstoppable.
yeah.
His skyhook was automatic.
All right. Well, I
right.
think we hit everything.
Sports nerds.
Yeah, I know we're gonna do it again probably before playoff, guys. So this I'm gonna get it edited as quickly as possible. It's probably gonna come out before or maybe the day of Thursday.
Yeah.
Before the first
But to
game.
recap, we're both taking the lines.
I think we're both taking Lions money line plus
I'm
200.
gonna sprinkle money on the money line. I'm gonna take that 5.5.
Okay. I'm gonna take
And
probably
I'm
the points
and
too.
I'm taking the first half bet, which is 3.5 right now.
And I'm hammering extra hard if Kelsey doesn't play because he has no one else to pass to.
And we're taking. Let's do first week locks. And we're taking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I'm
going against the Cardinals.
Did we see any
even though
other
the Cardinals are playing the Commanders, so I'm taking
Oh,
Commanders.
what's that line?
7.
We should have did first one of week 1 locks. 7.
7. Yeah.
A touchdown.
Here,
Commanders.
let's go. We'll go. We'll rapid fire it. So we got.
All right, bet.
I'm going through Detroit, Kansas City. We're both taking Detroit. Dude, they're listening. The line moved 5. It's plus instead of plus 200, it's plus 195. They're listening to us. All right.
There you go.
We got Arizona
Yep, now
Commanders.
it's at 5. It is dropping.
I'm taking Commanders by a touchdown, easy. No Kyler Murray.
I'm gonna take the touchdown.
Okay. Carolina, Atlanta, 3.5. I'm taking Panthers money line plus 160.
I like Minnesota -6 against the Bucks. I
Or-
like that.
Cincinnati Browns, who you taking? Just straight up, who you taking? Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Cincinnati
On the road. Okay.
on the road.
Texans, Baltimore, -10. I'm hammering Ravens. Rookie quarterback against John Harbaugh, hammering.
Ooh, -1.5. Chicago, Green Bay.
Chicago.
In Chicago. In Chicago.
Taking Chicago.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears.
Yeah.
This is a new day.
Justin Fields, new era.
This is a new day.
Colts at home against the Jaguars, only 5.5. I'm hammering Jags.
I'm taking +4 Raiders on the road against Denver. Not only am I taking the +4, and I'm putting the money line on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Plus
to
170.
beat that old fucking cornball ass Russell Wilson.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm taking it.
Oh, my Lanta. Vikings, Bucks, less than a touchdown. I'm taking Vikings
I'm taking
at home.
-6. I'm taking.
Saints, Titans, -3. Saints
Wait. -3 Saints at home.
at home. I'm taking the Saints.
I might take the Titans.
Ooh, I might too,
Field
actually.
goal.
I might too,
Field goal.
actually.
I might take Titans. I might tease.
No Alvin Kamara.
No Alvin Kamara. I might tease the Titans. I might do a 6-point tease. Titans and who is that? And Vikings.
Just, yep, I like it. I like it a lot.
A tease, guys, just for our not degenerate gamblers. A tease is when you have multiple teams. You can do a 6-point tease or all the way up to a 7-point tease.
You could do like 20 points if you add more
You can
teams.
do, more teams. But usually you'll tease with like 2 or 3 teams now and get 6 points towards that spread, you guys.
It's kind of like a
Tease.
parlay, which I'm a big fan of if you haven't heard.
Which,
Yes.
Here's my rule always for parlays. No more than 3, okay? Augie never listens to that.
No.
Augie's on a 15-game parlay he tells me about that bleeds into 3 days.
Yeah, we're winning, baby. We're winning. All right, I'm taking the Bears too. Packers. I like that at home. I can't believe it's only a point. I'm hammering that. That's one of my favorite ones that we just saw.
Again, that also might be a good tease potential too.
100%.
Right?
You get them
Tease that with
plus 5.
Right.
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
you get them +5.
I'm
at
actually.
home.
That was one I
That's
wasn't
a
paying
teaser
attention
team.
to. I'm definitely taking.
So Bears is a teaser team. Vikings is a teaser team. What was the other one we said? Just right
now. Vikings, Bucks.
Vikings are a teaser team. Bears are a teaser team. There's one more though.
Seattle, I think.
No.
No?
It was shit. Who do we?
Commies, Cardinals. I like that too. It's only at 7.
It was what we were just talking about.
Ravens.
Vikings, Bears, Saints. Sorry, Titans. Titans.
Oh, Titans.
Because it's at that field goal. It's at +3.
Yeah.
So now you get them at +9.
So we got Bears, Titans, Vikings.
Good
parlay.
teaser teams.
A teaser, yeah. I'll end up parlaying it. Anyway, we got Seahawks, Rams. I'm staying away from that game. I don't want anything to do with it. Miami Chargers. I'm taking Miami kind of on the road, +3, plus
taking
140.
Miami.
Yeah, I kind of like Miami there. Eagles, Patriots. 4 points. I'm hammering the Eagles. Fuck the Patriots.
Hammering the
They
Eagles.
stink.
Hammering
Them. 4 points. I'm smashing that.
the Eagles.
Dallas at Giants. I'm kind of probably staying away from that game. Jets, Buffalo. Oof. That's the last one of the week. That's the Monday night game. Ugh. Stay away from that one.
-2.5.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a field goal. It's 2.5.
I'm taking the dog. They're going to try to get their money back on Monday night.
Right.
Yep. Take the Jets. Aaron Rodgers era start big. Boom.
No Von Miller.
No Von Miller. Hey, baby. And that's our NFL preview. We're going to see you guys probably right before the playoffs start. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, thanks
We
for
did a
having
lot
me
of shout-outs. Yeah, thanks for being on the show, dude. This is Sense of
Yes,
Humor
sir.
TV. We're going to keep doing stuff like this, comedy. It's a fun way to watch it now that Pat McAfee, another he's not Paisan, but he's a Pittsburgh guy. He's going to ESPN, so someone's got to fill the shoes. I'm going to get a tank top on for the
That's
next
right.
episode. All right, love you guys. Sense of Humor TV out.
Peace.
Peace.